Welcome to my channel, Let's Summarize It. My name is Hussam Al-Daman. Today we're going to talk about micro-credentials and how we are not all on the same page. We're going to refer to an article that was published in Inside Higher Ed called Micro-Credentials, the Growing Confusion Among Employers, Colleges, and Learners. This was published in March 2023 by Suzanne D'Agostino. Let's begin by listing the various names that we usually refer to when we talk about micro-credentials. We are talking about reskilling, upskilling, certificates, badges, micro-credentials, digital credentials, nano degrees. There are so many different names. So there's really no consensus about the meaning, especially when we're talking about what higher ed thinks about this. However, if we take a look at some of the information that's being published in the United States, we are able to find out that there are over 1 million unique educational credentials in the US. Now, this is a growth of 300% since 2018. Now, many of those providers are non-academic entities. This has actually left learners with anecdotal reviews about these programs. They don't really know exactly the quality of those degrees. There was a report that was published by the University Professional and Continuing Education Association. They distributed a survey, and in the survey they found that 69% of employers are familiar with non-degree credentials, micro-credentials. However, 65% of them, they needed additional proof of the effectiveness of those micro-credentials. Effectively, this means that they don't really know exactly how the learner has been assessed and exactly the quality of the program that was delivered. 65% expressed desire to engage with the universities on curriculum design. 44% said that no college has approached them with an invitation to collaborate. The majority, as per the report, would like to be approached by universities to collaborate on such initiatives. They want to be on advisory boards or advisory committees at these universities. Effectively, they want to have a say in which skills are important because they are concerned about the quality of the program and the skills that are being focused on in higher education. From a university perspective, as per this report, it shows that academics are extremely worried about these alternative credentials as they may cannibalize their existing degree programs. But they also acknowledged that micro-credentials could also bolster colleges' traditional offerings. Additionally, they mentioned that Generation Z or Z and millennials are used to taking smaller bite-sized pieces, so therefore they're probably going to be more attracted to micro-credentials vis-a-vis the 120 credit hour degrees that are huge undertaking for these students. An additional learner perspective, a different study published in Ed Researcher entitled Benefits and Costs of Participation in MOOCs based on Alternative Credentials, MICROMASTERS, and Specializations. This was published in February 2023. Findings show that only 27% of the learners expect to actually benefit. However, after taking the course or obtaining their micro-credential, 94% showed that they actually did learn something new. Now, their main reason for taking these micro-credentials, number one, was to improve job performance. Number two, to improve the ability to apply to other jobs. Another study published by IBM found that many of the learners are unsure about starting a digital certification, and the majority of them were really concerned about the quality and the cost. Now, what's the reality of micro-credentials? Number one, there are many opportunities out there. However, there seems to be a communication gap between learners, providers, and the employers. My take on this is the following. Micro-credentials are here to stay, regardless if we talk about their virtues or if we talk about the negative things that they bring. Regardless, they are here to stay. What we need to do is we need to understand the challenges and the opportunities that can come about from these micro-credential courses. There needs to be clear communication between the various stakeholders, and there needs to be an understanding of how there could be a symbiotic relationship between traditional degrees and micro-credential offerings. If you would like to find out additional information about micro-credentials, please refer to these videos that are on this channel.